He's getting a milkshake. Should I wait? How long does it take him?
I drink.
All right. It's
Got one. By all reports, less than 8 seconds.
It's October 27th. You're watching Mods on Air.
2 FPS, 3 RPGs, and 5 sim-type games.
Yeah.
I think you'd be able to come up with one here.
I'm actually pulling this one hard.
Ask all the people that need hacks to play Call of Duty. I could hear you groaning inwardly every time Sin's mentioned. You're just cringing.
Hey, everybody. You're almost watching episode 400, because that's next week. So, this is Mods on Air. We're bringing you the week in gaming news as modders, developers, and gamers ourselves. I am foyleman. I think so. And on the show today, we have with us Breezy. Hello, Breezy.
Hello.
Hey, Welshy is... Yes, he's with us. Hello, Welshy.
Hello.
Wow. Ham is with us. Hello, Ham.
Hey.
And Strider's with us. Hello, Strider.
Hey, everybody.
Yeah, okay, so this show is recorded live, so things will fall apart right in front of your eyes, and you will want to be here for it. We have some topics that we're going to talk about, gaming-wise, but there may be some links into the chat window that you want to follow along with, and if there aren't, then I don't know. Finally, those of you who haven't heard the show before, there may be some explicit language or adult themes. So, it is almost Halloween.
Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're gonna have a spooktacular. Oh no, it'll already be.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Well, that ruined everything.
Don't get to wear my little slut bumblebee outfit. It's down, Shane.
At the end of the show, I will give away some copies of some games.
Ooh.
Well,
You're the sexiest
They're not games
people.
you want to ever play, though.
that's the trade-off.
You don't want to play them.
Yes. So make sure you stay here. Pay attention. Pay attention in the chat windows.
Is one of those games Dr. Meth?
No.
What? Dr. Math.
Dr. Meth, yes. That's what I
No.
said.
No, it is not.
Okay, ready for some serious jumping around. Dr. Meth happens to be this game that came out that is actually a web game. And it's supposed to be like a drug dealing video game, and apparently people are really digging it. I haven't played it. I don't know.
Is it
Jumping
Breaking
around.
Bad
Let's go right to the
inspired?
bottom.
Right to the bottom.
Top of the list.
Well, I don't know. It just came up, so.
You brought it up. What's this Dr. Meth all about?
Apparently
Tell
you
me.
have to be the kingpin of your own drug empire.
Haven't we seen these games though? Even since we've been back in school with the calculators, Drug Wars or whatever it's called. People still play it on the TI-81 calculators or 83, whatever.
I can't answer that.
No,
You'll
Nobody's-
realize how old I am.
I don't know what kind of school you went to.
No, come on.
Didn't we used to play Drug Lord in...
Remember back in college? You said I was a fool to take chemistry? Well,
Look at me now.
welcome to Dr. Meth. It's good except all your teeth fall out.
I can't
These
believe you all.
invisible spiders just keep crawling all over you, but hey.
That's the only downside.
Yeah, all the
believe I don't know.
upsides are.
Is that you get great video games named after you.
I don't know if they're trying to throw this game out there and ride the coattails of Breaking Bad, which is now over. Could be. I don't know. I don't know. Is this an Australian game too? Because this was from the Australian papers.
Just funny that it's an Australian game, or
it's
potentially just because it's math.
funny
you know,
because
Australians.
there's nothing that comes out of Australia that's usually is too gory or anything because they've got weird politics. Let's take this candy out of my mouth. I sound weird, but it's just got weird politics where games don't come out in Australia, or they come out with heavily censored versions. So that this came out of Australia is a wonder to behold all its own.
All right. I think the game's free. I don't know. All right,
Right.
let's jump it back.
The first bit of myth is always free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the first hit.
Yeah. All right, so
This
this
is-
week apparently we had the Golden Joysticks Awards.
Porns.
Yeah.
That is what you end up thinking of, isn't it? Yeah. So we have a bunch of winners. Do we have any losers?
Several, but
All right, the best newcomer, Last of Us.
It's a porn.
Um, best indie
Yeah.
game, Mark of the Ninja.
What?
Best visual design, BioShock Infinite. Or is it Infinite? I don't know.
it's infinite.
Innovation of the year associated with T3. What is T3?
No idea.
Okay,
No
well,
idea.
Oculus Rift is the winner of that. That sounds like a very specific association.
Yeah.
So,
Best game
Last-
is the Oculus. Best peripheral creating an in-game environment that you wear on your face. Named Oculus. Ooh, Oculus won that one.
Best
Why am I
gaming
not
platform
surprised?
in association with Digital Spy, Steam. What is this association nonsense? Game of the year, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh, come on. How can that be game of the year?
Yeah, especially when Call of Duty didn't come out yet, right? Because
Well, Call of Duty
you know
is Hall of
that's-
Fame now.
Oh,
You know, that's a good point. When does their fiscal year begin and end? Because there's still a lot of year left.
yeah.
It doesn't.
Well, and-
they
and-
just
and
they
realistically,
just
how-
decide.
Just because a game is just released, how can it be game of the year? Are you saying that the previous 11 months there was absolutely shit released in gaming?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. It's because the media hype is all about GTA 5 right now,
Yeah. It maybe all these
which is
awards
actually
that
a horrible game. GTA 5 is a horrible game. It's
I don't know.
it's such a horrible game that they have to fill it with mini games to make it a game. Really, GTA
true.
5 is
Yeah.
nothing but mini games.
Yeah. But I wouldn't know. It's only on the console.
Yep. Still haven't
Indeed.
bought it.
Did you buy Batman though?
Hells yeah, but it's on the PC.
is that bad?
Yeah, you would have bought it on anything. It's on the PS4 too. It's on the Xbox One. It's on the Xbox 360. It's released on everything.
Is it? I think it's only on the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
Well, it's on the PS4 and the Xbox One, except you don't have those consoles yet. So sit there and enjoy your coaster until they come out. Nah, I don't.
I haven't
doesn't-
actually played it yet though, so I can't offer a review.
Okay.
What's this now? On the Batman game?
Yeah.
From everything I've seen, looks exactly like the other Batman games.
Could
It does.
could you have been any more Welsh then? That was fantastic. What's this now? What?
Oh boy. Okay, there's another. Moving on fast. There's another gaming engine that's supposedly being put together. A 64-bit cross-platform nitrous engine. I don't know if this is new or old because, well, they're saying this thing is supposed to be cross-platform, meaning you can build games on this engine for the PC, Xbox One, and PlayStation 4. Hey, I could say the same thing about Unity. Doesn't necessarily mean it's the best thing out there. We don't know anything about it, do we? I don't think there's any video or anything to go along with it. We just know that
Just a logo.
I was lucky to find the logo actually. It's aligned with AMD.
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 Okay, I just want to make sure I heard you correctly. That's interesting. So aligned as in they're just sort of encouraging development, or is sort of an in-house engine, or
Don't know. I just
So we
know it's
don't
meant for 64-bit computing, and that they say it can do a lot. But you know what? It's because they're multi-threading a lot more.
yeah.
So yeah, they're going to be able to do a lot, and you know, Unreal Engine can do a lot too. Doesn't mean we
Right.
play games using all of those features.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I guess it's one thing to state that yes, we exist, but it's an entire other thing to say, hey, here's something that demonstrates why we need to exist. So they need to bring it or go away.
There it is. Bring it.
There's a whole bunch of game engines out there like that they need to bring it or just go away. Mind you, you need not necessarily the developer of the engine to bring it. You need someone to implement it. And that's probably the toughest thing is if you're going to judge an engine on how somebody else implements it, may or may not be a true representation.
That's why I tend to like the work that Crytek and Epic does, because they can have great results, but a lot of their focus for developers is on making sure that things are as easy as possible and as quick as possible to put in things, and you really got to hand it to them for that at the very least.
I noticed that you left id out of that statement. That's suspiciously. For you, that's rather suspicious.
Well, I think I should say that I believe id made a mistake when they allowed themselves to be sold to Bethesda. I think they really harmed themselves because a lot of their future technology might be locked up within id Studio games but ZeniMax games, ZeniMax properties. And I understand that they could have been hurting for money. Rage was probably taking way too long to be developed, but I don't like where it's going when it comes to it development and some other things. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I'm wrong, but as of right now, I stand by the statement. Epic and Crytek are doing great things to make sure that developers can quickly produce content. It's where are they at right now?
I don't know.
Nowhere.
Yeah, nowhere.
They're working on the Oculus Rift. Right? Isn't that all Carmack is doing right now?
Nobody knows what the fuck Carmack is doing.
No.
Nobody can understand those tweets of his. What the hell are you talking about?
It's like he's on a permanent acid trip that only
It's
he knows what's going on.
It's
Really?
the modern day equivalent of like where you walk into a room and in olden days you'd have like a crazy inventor who'd have like writings all over the walls that is just gibberish, but it's on Twitter because it's the modern day room, so it's just like, what the fuck is he talking about? No one knows.
No one knows. All right. DICE has some official single-player story stuff going on for Battlefield 4, trying to get people excited to get in on the game.
Which people aren't going to because the first one was horrible.
Yeah.
The single-player game was?
Yeah.
I
don't think I ever played it.
I got to the tank missions, it crashed, and I was like, it's not worth rebooting again.
I played it all the way through, but it was very... It's a good example of something where somebody's gone, hey, we got this amazing engine, it looks perfect, let's make a single-player story. Does anyone know how? And they all went, no. But we'll give it a go anyway.
I think they watched the season finale of, I don't know, CSI Miami or something.
Yeah.
And so this is it, we can do this.
It's just so, it looks good, but it's just so generic as a first-person single player.
Yep, it looks great. Just like you said, great, but full of cliches.
Yeah.
No one gets left behind, guys.
Remember that, because that's the first time it's ever been said.
Yeah. I don't have a problem with women. I have a problem
They should
with
just change it.
wives.
They should just say, leave every fucker behind.
Yeah.
Leave every fuck up behind.
Yeah. Oh look, he's playing Path with the... Fetch.
And end of video any second now.
Now, if you pay attention very closely, the guy punched the dog in that video.
I read something about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I
it's something
heard.
about they don't get to punch the dog and they don't get to send him to space.
Is that maybe it could be a jab at Call of Duty?
I think that's what it is. Is the fact? Yeah.
I'm gonna punch a dog.
All right. And if you happen to pre-order the game, you can start pre-installing it now on Origin.
We let you have that right.
Yeah.
We'll grant you for an extra $50. You get the ability to install it one day early.
Yeah. You know you want it.
Ooh, one day early.
Now there's something else coming out here. From Can we say it's from Dice or do we say it's from somebody else? It's called Mantle. The problem is I don't know what Mantle is, but Mantle's going to be in all these games.
Mantle actually
Huh?
is
Break it down.
the
Freestyle.
Jesus.
Mantle is the way that the GPU and CPU talk, which is gone through in great detail by some Swedish dude in that YouTube video there. The problem that I have with this is he's talking about PC architecture being so difficult to work with compared to console architecture in the way that the GPU and the CPU talk to one another, which is a bunch of shit. Yeah, there's different configurations you can have, but if you've got a problem rendering a DirectX command or a whatever draw command with a PC, you're going to have that same problem in a console architecture. So I'm not sure what they're going on about with this, other than perhaps they've figured out how to make a better jump between the two of the processing powers. But I don't know. It sounds like it's a gimmick because it's another program that has to run
Yeah.
in order to run your game.
And a program's going to make it more efficient.
They're saying that Mantle is this sort of GPU API that basically you can take more or better advantage of the graphics hardware. So with consoles, you can sort of, as they say, they can speak to the metal or kind of address even base level things, and you can't do that. You sort of limit it when it comes to DirectX on Windows PCs. So with Mantle, you have the ability to just take more advantage of the graphics hardware.
Explain that to me, though. If I've got my current PC would stomp on an Xbox 360, both computing power and GPU power. Explain to me how my system would run a game worse than a 360.
Well,
when
all right.
When the architecture is the same, it's running the same calls. My processor is better. My GPU is infinitely better.
Exactly. All right. But take this into account. When it comes to fixed platform hardware, you've got, like you said before, with consoles, there's just an advantage. You've got no additional configurations. And Carmack said this years ago. He said that you can get, and I'm paraphrasing this, but he said something very similar. You can get about 5 times the performance, or let's just say 3 to be modest. You can get at least 3 times the performance out of fixed platform hardware than you would on a PC, sort of with similar specs. And the idea is because you know what's there on the fixed platform, and you can take full advantage of that. On the PC, you've got so much stuff going on in the background that may be interfering that you just have to account for. And then when you're dealing with APIs like DirectX, there may be limitations about things you can or cannot do, how fast draw calls are made, how fast where things are stored on the card, and all that stuff can basically give you what ends up being the lowest common denominator. You need to just sort of play it safe. And with Mantle, the idea, the selling point at least, is supposed to be that we'll no longer be bound by some of the limitations of DirectX. We can take full advantage of the GPU in the same fashion that consoles can take full advantage of the GPU. So when it just comes to games, the idea is that we'll have better everything because we can take better advantage of the GPU. That's the sales pitch, without trying to be too vague, because I'm not a hardware engineer. I don't know. I'm not a rendering architect. I don't know quite all the ins and outs, but that's what they're trying to convince me of, the common person, that we're gonna see in Mansell. So,
but if that is the selling feature, that sounds like it's just a matter of getting a proper driver, because the way that this Swedish guy is going on there, and he goes on for a good half hour. I think this video is a little trimmed down version of it. It's only 15 minutes, but his argument is that a PC, you pop a game in a PC. Say I pop in Call of Duty, the original Call of Duty, into my PC right now. They're saying it won't take advantage of the multi-cores. It won't take advantage of that threading, the multi-threading that you can get with the new processors and things like that. Whereas you pop that into a 360 and it's going to run, it's destined to run better. All that means to me is that the coding for that game was done strictly with that console in mind, and the PC was an afterthought. In that case, with that particular title that I mentioned, that's probably a poor title to mention because it's the exact opposite. However, that argument doesn't fly with me.
Well, I was going to say, we'll consider this too. So we've got games. We'll just use one of the recent Batman games, not Arkham Origins, but maybe Arkham City, where you've got something like that, where on the PC it looks great, but maybe it's not optimized as well as it is for the console, and so we can make it run smoothly. But we, as the coders, basically all they do is just say, all right, well, people on the PC have more powerful hardware, so we're going to sort of brute force this. We're not going to optimize the game like we should. We're not going to waste our time with that. We're going to hope they have powerful hardware and they can brute force it. With the Mansell API, we may not have to do that because they can treat it just like the console. They can treat the GPU just the same way they do on the consoles. That's what I'm understanding, and that's what the big deal is. So you got this game like an old Call of Duty that runs better. They're saying runs better on the console, but like you said, probably because it's the way it was written was so they could take better advantage of console hardware versus PC hardware. So on a PC, it still looks better, but our PC is doing a lot more work than it should. And with something like Mansell, maybe we don't have to do as much work because we can speak to the hardware a bit better, and as a result, we can more efficiently use the power that our GPU has, which should result in better looking games.
Well, here's my problem with this then, I guess, is that if you say that a game or any application on that box that you purchase that application with, there's a set of minimum specifications. This is what your minimum specifications are. If I meet or exceed that list of minimum specifications, my game should perform as good or better than what there is on a console, because that console should be those minimum specifications. Right. That's what those minimum specs should be, is that console spec, because that's the baseline for their programming. If I've got a computer that stomps on those specifications, my game should perform better than that because I've met or exceeded those minimum specs.
I agree. It really should. But that's
either a developer fail or a driver fail with these GPU units. Since this is all about graphics processing, this Mansell.
And Mansell does need an appropriate graphics driver. I believe I kind of quickly scanned through stuff, but it did mention, the article I was reading, that it is going to have to take advantage of a particular driver in order to make things sort of work how they should. And you're right. If you have the minimum specs, you should be able to play it. If you beat those specs by a large margin, the game should be run great. And the thing is, but you look at consoles, which we know have worse specs. So I don't know. You look at something like, I don't know, I guess Gears of War or something. The original Gears of War runs great on 360. The PC, on the other hand, at the time you needed a really beefy PC to run Gears of War, and you say to yourself, well, my PC can run laps around an Xbox 360. Why the hell do I need all these beefy specs?
It's a shitty console port, and
well,
it's just
that's part of it.
shitty, lazy developers trying to let's try and get a little bit of money out of these guys.
And for the developer, I think AMD is saying, hey, now with Mantle, you can treat the PC as you would a console, and you can possibly even do even better. And for developers who are focused on multi-platform stuff, I'm sure they're sort of saying, oh, this is something to look into. And
this isn't just something so that AMD can. I mean, I've got a serious
sure
problem. I've got a serious problem right now with AMD because with the release of Battlefield 3, they made that game so console centric, and there was all this beta testing that came out. Or sorry, not Battlefield 3. I should qualify. This began with Bad Company 2, where my disgust with EA and AMD actually started to really come to a head. But throughout that entire beta, AMD cards would not run on Bad Company 2. It just would not. And I was having no end of problems. There was emergency patch updates and do this and do this to your configurations to try and get AMD to run. And I jumped through all the hoops, and finally in the last 2 or 3 days of the beta, I finally got to play with all you guys. And what happened when the game was released? None of those fixes were implemented, and for the entire run of that game, AMD was always playing catch up with drivers.
Yeah.
So now you're going to say that this is the savior for AMD? Is this secondary? What do you want to call it? It's like a catalog of what drivers it's going to load depending on the game. To me, that just sounds like they're trying to push the driver issue onto somebody else and say, you know what, developers, if you're going to do it, grab one of these drivers so we don't look so fucking bad.
It's weird for sure what AMD is doing, because I don't know. AMD has the next gen console sort of on lock. They got those agreements, and they're going to be in PlayStation 4. They're going to be in Xbox. But NVIDIA is doing some great things on the PC too, albeit a lot of stuff is proprietary, which I don't necessarily like, a lot of the technology you're introducing. But NVIDIA is doing some great stuff. They're pushing.
So is this, though. This is only going to work with AMD.
Exactly. So is this. So they're both kind of weird. I like what's coming out of NVIDIA. And NVIDIA, since they aren't they aren't in the next gen consoles, now they're sort of almost kind of just bringing out their big guns on PC. And I think this might be something for AMD to say, hey, look, if you're making console games, you can also make PC games just as easy, and you don't have to use NVIDIA hardware or something like that. But what about all those people on PC who are sticking with PC, who are investing heavily in NVIDIA? It's weird, because they're both making these features that you want, but only work with their hardware. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure what to do about that. AMD seems to be saying, here's a solution so you can sort of release on multi-platforms, and here's something for that people that play games. They don't have to worry about console ports running badly. But then here's NVIDIA saying, look, we actually pushing PC technology, and we're showing you exactly why our hardware is better and why you should be a PC gamer. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah. With your comment there, Foyle, mm-hmm. I think it's both. If you've got a AAA title come out, I mean, I can understand it if it's an indie title that has driver issues, but when you've got a AAA title coming out, for example, Call of Duty Ghosts, we'll take that one. Call of Duty Ghosts is coming out. That title is going to be something big. Same with Battlefield 4. Same with, there's all kinds of AAA titles that come out. Titanfall. all these titles as they're coming out, they should be saying, all right, here you go, driver hardware developers. Make sure your GPU can handle this and do this. Make sure that your CPU can do this, and at that point, the hardware developer should be ensuring that there is a proper driver released for that. If they,
See, I disagree. I don't think they should be doing that. I don't think they need, unless you're throwing money at these graphics companies, then you shouldn't be doing that at all. The developer of the game should be saying, "This is what's available. Does it work with it?" Not, "Here's the game. Make it work."
Here's my problem with that. You've got, every time you turn on any game these days, it's sponsored by one of these video card companies.
I know.
It's either NVIDIA or AMD and all other kinds of manner of advertising there for sponsorship. If a game is sponsored by NVIDIA and I turn it on with NVIDIA cards and it sucks ass graphically and there's all kinds of problems, whose fault is that?
Right.
The game is sponsored. You can't get the game to run on your sponsor's equipment. That's shit.
That's right. You were working together. It should have worked.
Exactly. And even then, if you're not working together, say for example, Battlefield is working with AMD now, or so that means Dice EA is working with AMD. You've only got a potential 50% market share, and that's assuming that it's an even split. There's still all of those NVIDIA cards out there. Do you want people to buy that game as a publisher or a developer of the game? Do you want people to purchase that game, plug it in, and it runs like crap, and they say, you know what, fuck you, it's junk EA? Because that's where I got, not just based on graphic performance with EA, but that's where I got with AMD. I was so fed up of every game coming out, and I'm talking every game, and there was driver issues. And I would either have to download another driver to play a certain game and have to uninstall that driver. Rage is a good one for that. I had to put special drivers in just to play Rage. They would fuck up every other game I was playing. So I had to uninstall those AMD drivers and reinstall a different driver set just to play every other game. And if I want to play Rage, oh shit, I got to go through this again.
Yeah.
That, to me, AMD's drivers are horrible. And I think that's all really this is this is a catalog of drivers, and it's going to load the drivers for the game that you play.
That might be exactly what it ends up being. In the same way that when a lot of people, this may not be common knowledge, but when you install a few games, you'll see it saying that it's installing DirectX, and you say, well, all my other games install DirectX. But really, what's happening is there's a library in certain, or tons of libraries, and certain sort of libraries are being used for some games and not others. It's a catalog, basically. And that's what this is probably going to end up being.
That's why DirectX takes, like, you install a new game and it installs DirectX, and you're like, well, my DirectX is up to date. Well, it's going through, and yeah, it's doing just that. It's like, it's saying, all right, you need modules 1 through 90 and 102, and it goes, well, you got all these modules. Oh, you don't have 88 installed because your other game didn't require it, but this game does. It reinstalls every module. It won't uninstall any that you have, but if you were to install all the DirectX modules, you would end up with a huge file. So,
yeah. So we'll see. Mantle, people are sort of hyping it up, giving it promise. I don't like that it's for AMD hardware only, because that just causes lots of headaches.
Are any of us actually using AMD?
Not anymore.
No.
I think I was the last holdout.
Yep. Because I used to run AMD stuff, and I left for the exact same reason. Not the exact reason, but the reason I left was because I was sick of waiting months for drivers, because that was at the point prior to them not working properly. It was the point where they were taking 3 to 4 weeks after a game release before you'd get the driver. It was just like, okay, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I've actually got an AMD chip card set in my gaming laptop. So
The only
that's,
time I would use one is if I was building a small multimedia PC just to keep the cost down. But I would
Yeah.
never put it in my main gaming machine.
I don't think I'd ever buy one. I got
No.
burned too many times long ago.
Yeah.
Not going back.
So we'll see what happens. I think as long as Nvidia maybe makes great cards, we can sort of continue to brute force stuff anyway, and still get that sort of great unneeded 4K experience with 3D and all that other and physics. Also the madness nobody cares about.
Well, Strider was bringing up the minimum specs. Did you see some of these minimum specs for Call of Duty Ghosts?
yes, and
Yep.
and
Which is total bullshit.
I
'Cause
Minimum.
It makes no sense.
Not recommended, but minimum.
So this game's on the Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3, correct?
Yeah,
with
and
256
that's what I
and
don't-
512 megs of RAM.
Yeah, therefore you do not need 6 gig of RAM to play this game.
and
What
you
this
don't
tells
want
me
64-bit processing.
no, and what this tells me is they are forcing this to make it look like a next gen game when it actually isn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next.
Exactly. And you know what? Exactly.
It's on the Wii U for fuck's sake.
Is it still? I wasn't sure if they
It's
kept it on
coming
there and
out.
pulled it.
I just
Okay.
looked on the website prior to this topic, and it's coming out on the Wii U.
Well, the one good thing. It's
You know
working
what?
with Steam,
You know what I think
not
this
Origin.
is that, sorry. In order to, like, essentially, you said, I think part of the truth that they're forcing it to look like it's a next gen game. But I also think that what it is you're going to be with that 6 meg of RAM and the 64-bit processing, is part of this installation on a PC is to install a Xbox 360 emulator, which will have to run in conjunction with this game.
Mhm.
So,
That's ridiculous that you need
Yeah,
that. right?
No, you do not need that. And the
It's
problem,
probably
thing is, the stupid thing is you will need it because what they will do is just put out the 64-bit executable only. So you're gonna have to have 64-bit, otherwise you're just not gonna be able to play it. But you don't require it. It's gonna be the dumb. It's just
They took
You
the
know what
same
it-
game and put out double-sized textures, so all that has to
Yeah.
load in the memory.
so that it just looks like it's a next generation game when
Yeah,
it
but
really isn't.
It's probably the dog with because it's handed in.
Oh, that's it. It's all
Yeah,
on the dog.
Tattoo in the air.
Breezy will know because he's probably already pre-ordered this one or
No, I haven't.
sold his soul. And
I've stopped playing Call of Duty now. I'm back on to Counter Strike now. So
yeah, just because you get the little drops to make your money.
yeah, damn right. Made £3 the other day.
Wow, that's not
Jesus.
bad.
£5 before that. My Steam wallet is filling up.
Yeah.
By selling cards.
Nope, by selling drops that I find, weapon skins.
I'm not good
Hats.
enough to get any drops. I've always noticed that the drops go to the persons in first or second place or something. I think I've gotten one crate.
You can buy crates,
You can buy the crates.
but then you have to buy the keys to unlock the crates, don't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you do.
I made like 6 cents. I don't know off a crate.
There's still weapon skins going for over £100,
Wow,
and they're selling as well.
that's crazy. Is how do you feel about the new Counter Strike? Just very quickly, because I feel like it's their attempt at Call of Dutying of Counter Strike. It feels that way.
I quite like it. I didn't play a lot of the old Counter Strike, so I don't compare it. But I quite like it. It's still got all the Counter Strike elements in it. But
Okay.
Sounds like a game for women.
I
Counter of
play
Duty.
mostly competitive as opposed to public though.
Counter of Duty. Make me a sandwich, bitch.
I love it.
All right, we got another one here that's an interesting story. This dark matter thing.
What?
I don't know what.
Oh, nothing. I'm just.
I wish I knew all the insider details on this, but what I've gathered is that Dark Matter was originally put out to Steam, and Steam turned around and says, "There's no ending to the game, so we're pulling it."
A lot of people complained. Yeah,
As in, it's not finished?
right.
As in, there is no end. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure. Maybe.
Here's the problem. Why didn't Steam pull Rage then?
Well, that's
Good point.
But that is a good point. At what point does Steam get to make these decisions that there's no ending and the game has to be yanked from their library?
Okay, I was flipping through the forums a little bit because I read this news and I said this sounds crazy. So I flipped through the forums and apparently at some point it just says to be continued. That's it.
so it's kind of just like
So what's the problem with that? I don't have a problem with that because that's episodic gaming. Steam had no problem releasing Sin Episode.
Right?
I see what you did there.
But they weren't classified as an episodic adventure, and now they are. They relabeled themselves, and so I think that's going to allow them to go back onto Steam. Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Right.
But yes, what's wrong with the cliffhanger to make you want to go for the next release, if there is one? Who knows? Movies do it all the time.
Even if there isn't a next release,
I think it's just
that's a M. Night Shyamalan ending.
it just sort of
The twist is that there is no ending.
makes you think. This is from the guys who made Nuclear Dawn, which started off I believe very briefly as it may have not been, but it was on Source. It got a commercial release. Nuclear Dawn, I've played it recently again. It's actually a great game. It's a RTS FPS hybrid, and this is
plug here apparently.
Yeah.
How much are you paid to say that? Really?
No,
Tell us the truth.
well, I'm getting to it.
Where's our
I'm getting
cut? Go
to
on.
the tragedy. The tragedy is that these guys, the next game, they wanted to produce something that was wildly different from an RTS or FPS, and this is a result, a Metroidvania that is, well, it doesn't look that great, and from what I have read, it doesn't play that great either, and they start to run out of money, so they have to release the game sort of as it was, and it got yanked because it just wasn't good enough. And it's sad because I'm not sure if you're going to get to this news just yet, but are you going to talk about sort of the employment situation going on there? Boyle?
The unemployment situation?
The employment situation / unemployment situation, yeah, at Interweave.
Oh, I don't know what's going on over at Interweave.
Okay, so the part of the other part of the tragedy is that these guys have to be let go. There's barely any more development staff for Dark Matter or Interweave. So they released a successful game, Nuclear Dawn. They worked on the next game. Next game sucked, and there's no money left. So that's it. It's over. The game developer dream is gone, so to speak. They're paying a company to release a cinematic ending for the game, but beyond that, that's probably going to be it. Yeah, they released before it was done because they were running out of money, and they hoped that the sales would encourage people to buy it, to give them more money, and they could do more stuff. But that just didn't happen.
Well, what do you think? Maybe all these reviews that we do, all these things that we say about these companies, we're going to get this takedown notice eventually saying you guys can't say that. Total Biscuit is somebody who did a review of Day One Gary's Incident, which is not Gary's Mod. It is something else. And this is actually after having the developers send him a copy of the game to review. I don't know what his review was, but I don't think it was very good.
No, his review was very anti-game. Said it's terrible.
The
So
thing
they
is this is the problem that I've got with these reviews that we always see, hear, get, is that if it's an unfavorable review, say a publisher is we're gonna just EA is gonna send you this game for a review, and you give it a favorable review. they're going to say, hey, look, we got this favorable review. Let's give them another game. And you give them another favorable review. You give them a shit review, they're going to be like, no, we're not going to give you any more games to review because you gave this one a shit one. And then you get something like this where they say, you know what? He doesn't have any right to put any of this stuff on YouTube. Get rid of it. And so they're trying to guide the marketplace by influencing what people can and cannot say about their product.
And it's not just him who's given it a bad review, but the others haven't been taken down. It was only his because his was the top viewed.
Yeah, the most influential, arguably.
Well, that's what I was going to say, yeah, because it's Total Biscuit, so people listen to his reviews. They
Legal slap fighting.
It's weird. It's not fair. It's not fair. If you made a crappy game, people deserve to know it's a crappy game.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Just as much as they deserve to know it's a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why you should always come to MODSonair.com for your game reviews.
Because we say everything is shit.
Oh no, we don't say everything is shit. We don't say everything is shit. If something's good, we say it's good. But we definitely don't pull punches.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have a varying. There's 5 of us, and typically, if we review something, there's always one like Ham that'll like everything. He tries to be like, what's the one broad that's on Singing with the Stars or whatever the hell it is, where she just loves everybody.
Oh, that
like
Abda Abdul or something.
Abdul, Paula Abdul.
No,
that's like you, Ham. You're Paula Abdul of our review.
I try to be
I'm
even.
the one that's like, unless it's Armor or Batman, it sucks.
Or Star Wars.
Or Star Wars. And even then,
And Star Wars can suck. It's just unfortunately we're going to spend money on it. Really.
It's Star Wars. It sucks, but I still play it.
Yeah.
Well, it could be worse.
I
It could be
hate
Star
every
Trek.
second of it. It makes my life a living hell. Do you still play it? Well, yeah, it's Star Wars, so.
I was sitting here yesterday night thinking I should game. What should I get? I was flipping through and Lego Star Wars pops up as an advertisement, like, oh, and my mouse was hovering over the buy button, and I'm like, no, I'm not gonna. I resisted the urge.
Well, one game
I'm
that we
still
do
about buying Lego Star Wars now. Damn it! I don't know what it is about Star Wars. It's like they put something in the Kool-Aid.
This one's related to a game that we actually favor, but I'm wondering if I should just play this video and then ask you if you recognize anything in it. And I think that did they leave it in the video? Let's see. There. Yeah, actually, that's right in the beginning, isn't it? Okay, so I'm gonna play this little bit of flip video. And right as it starts off, we see some. There you go.
It also looks a lot like Minecraft.
Yeah, it does.
It does, right? I know. But specifically, you got to look at this one character from 7 Days to Die. And oh yeah, you said it already. And there he is. So this game was pulled from Steam because this mod of Tripwire's game Killing Floor actually uses some of its assets
Nice.
in the game, untouched. I'm like,
Wow.
you know what? You can make a game, but you can't steal our assets.
Wow. This is. I wonder what the concentration of pulled games from Steam are, because it seems to be increasing lately.
It gets better. This stuff was originally stolen from Tripwire's game Killing Floor and packaged into a Unity asset, which could be purchased at the Unity store, so that you could download and add it to your game.
That's the type of, you get sued for this stuff. you don't get your game for it, you get sued. That's
Well, what does 7 Days to Die say? They say, we're working to sort this out and actively dealing with the lawyers and such to have the issue resolved.
And
In other words,
dealing with
in other words, oh shit, we got caught. Let's do that.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh my god.
I mean, how
Don't
hard
do
is it
that,
to make a
come on.
zombie model? Really?
That's what Tripwire said. They're like, listen, all you have to do is go in there and swap out the model. That's it. But no, they couldn't do that. So we're gonna have to.
The funniest part is Tripwire are the kind of guys that would probably go, look, hang on, just give me a minute, and they'll make a zombie model and give it to them. Go here, just take our one out.
Right.
That I could see them doing that just because it would be. That's what they would do.
Yeah.
They're those kind of guys. That just like, you know what, just take it.
Take it and leave.
I mean, I guess they're lucky Tripwire is the kind of studio that they are, because if this were, I don't know, EA or
Oh god.
you never hear from them again.
No, it's find them under a giant stadium or something.
Right.
Rolled up in the carpet.
I'm sorry, EA. What would that be? That would be Dolphins or something, right?
Next time we go to PAX, that's what we should do to Welshy. He'll get all drunked up on wine and pass out. We should roll him up in a carpet and leave him in Shady Park.
Anything but the Shady Park. Jesus.
Leave him on Davies Street rolled up in a carpet.
That's
Shady Park. I'll end up running into, what were their names? Was it Raven and Thorn again?
That's right.
God.
Raven and Thorn.
Yeah, that was a bizarre weekend in general.
I got to hear that story sometime.
So we have Halloween coming up, and along with that, Killing Floor has their Halloween event planned out.
It's
It is
usually
awesome.
interesting.
They added I saw an update yesterday. No, what day is today? Sunday. So Wednesday, they added another map
Yeah,
and another map to the new game mode.
it's awesome.
What, new game mode?
Yeah,
The
new map, and the new game mode.
They just keep pushing this stuff out. It's and going and going. How many years?
Since release. I don't know. They've got a new character pack. A lot of people have been saying this it's overpriced, but they have been lately.
Yeah, but
It-
you don't
it-
need them.
You don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
you don't need
No,
them
you
to
don't.
play the game. That's the thing.
We can't play it anymore.
They don't.
We suck.
Yeah, they don't. I mean, they've got new weapon packs too. That you have to buy the weapon pack, and then you get to in-game buy the weapons, but they're just insanely overpriced.
Yeah, but again, yeah, you don't need that stuff to play and enjoy it.
No.
And it's really good. It's fun.
And I'm assuming the weapons don't give you any advantage over the other weapons.
Some of them would.
Huh.
The type of weapon. The like you can get what's the end boss? You can get his chain gun, so it shoots rockets.
Santa Claus.
And Santa Claus.
I thought it was zombie John Lennon.
The zombie John Lennon with the
Yeah.
That game definitely feels harder.
It is. They
It-
definitely fucked something. They messed with the balancing.
And
It's
It's
hard.
still fun though. That's the
Okay.
Yeah.
neat bit.
well, actually, you guys are enjoying some other game, aren't you? Did you want to mention that?
What?
Or should we just pretend you guys haven't been playing this gauntlet style fun game?
Oh well, I don't know if I'm probably the only one playing it.
I was gonna say, I haven't played anything.
I haven't played it.
Forced.
Oh,
I mean,
Forced,
cannabis.
yeah. I got a copy of Forced to play, and it's pretty fun actually.
Yeah,
It's
the demo was great.
easy to pick up, and it's definitely Gauntlet style. 4-person co-op, I think, is
okay.
so.
Based on the demo, it was good, and sounds like you like the full game.
See,
Yeah,
you
it-
like things.
And it's
Mark
cheap.
this in your calendar.
It's what, $15?
$12.
Oh, even better.
So you should be buying that right now, Ham, so that we can play.
I probably should buy it. Yeah, I think I
It'll
might
go
do
lower.
that after the
The
show.
price
then.
will go down. It'll be on sale.
That's true.
It's already on sale. It's like 30%
already
off.
on
Welshy buys it.
Yeah,
Welshy
yeah.
buy it. Then it will go down in price.
Then it'll go in price. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
God damn! Steam.
Stop talking.
Why are their videos so loud?
Okay. Why is your headset all echoey?
Yeah,
Oh,
Forced,
right.
Forced right now is it's normally $15. It's 20% off. So you can get it for 12. So there you go. It's on sale. You have no excuse now, Ham. All of your prerequisites have been met. I will buy it when it's on sale. He just said that. Rewind this video if you don't believe he just said that.
Ham needs to wait till he makes more money because he's put it all into this into his pre-order of Titanfall.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of the special edition, the collector's edition. Which,
Right.
believe it or not, when I saw this, I was surprised. Well, I can't say I'm surprised because you may bring this to fruition yet, but because it's got a 1.5 foot tall statuette, I foresee you purchasing this foil. Because I know you're all about the statuettes.
Yes, but isn't it console only?
No.
I get it.
And
200. I can't justify $250 for a
for a
statuette.
multiplayer-only game.
Oh no.
Yeah, for a multiplayer only game. But it is not. It's you can get this collector's edition pre-order for any of the platforms that this game is going to be released on.
It would look good on the shelf, but I can't do it. Nope. It
And
would
a
be like
200-page artwork book.
it would be like buying the special edition of Halo just for the helmet. And whatever happens to that helmet? Nothing. It just sits on the shelf, and
You
you're like,
can't
It
get
would've-
silver.
It would
I
have been
remember spending that money. That's all you can do with it.
Yeah.
my son bought that. I think he still got the helmet.
Right.
And it would have been better if you could actually wear the helmet,
Or if it
you know,
could fit on a
put it
cat or something.
put it on your cat's head. But no,
It has a dust collecting feature. I think built
Dust.
in.
Yeah, that's what they're good for.
Not like the PlayStation, though. PlayStation still beats it.
Oh yeah.
PlayStation. That's a dust magnet feature.
I don't know what it is that makes it, like, whether it's like statically charged or the plastic I don't know, but just so you
Yeah.
could pour dust like this and you'd see it being sucked over to the.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
see, that was Morphus has made a point here that I was actually thinking of when I saw this, is that this is going to be something that's going to be eBayable.
Ooh, you
That's-
know, I should have put that in the topic. Speaking of eBayable, PAX East tickets went on sale. A couple hours later, they were out, and they were already on eBay for $400 a ticket.
My God.
Wow.
They did it again. They did
Exactly what they did PAX Prime.
exactly what they did, and they didn't fix a thing. Not a thing.
Yeah, they're making it so that the gamers or the like PAX used to, and I'm getting a little disheartened by it, but PAX was always all about the fans,
That was
and
not.
it's turned itself into a great game show, and the success of it is that they've gone from just being PAX Prime to PAX East. They've now expanded to PAX Australia, but they're making it so that the people that they want there can't get there. They're I don't know. They tried to implement this buy online feature, which, you know, how do you control, like, and this is what I don't know. How do you get the tickets into the hands of the people that want or need to be there?
Well, what you do is you make it so that you when you purchase the ticket, you can provide your name, your address,
Yes.
or whatever, and then you have to provide proof of ID when you pick up your ticket.
Yeah, but
Or
all that does
you
is
only you have to register an account and use a credit card, and you're only allowed to use that credit card for a single purchase and that account for a single purchase. So you're going to force all these scalpers to get either 100 credit cards.
That's
or
what they were.
not
That's what they
work.
were saying was happening. Was they were sitting there and they were this person and this person and this person and this person and this person were all sitting there buying.
They were
'Cause I
probably
don't-
buying multiple copies.
I've got 3 credit cards in my name.
Because I know at Eurogame, I don't know about PAX because I've not gone in under a kind of regular day pass or anything. But Eurogamer, you couldn't even just basic tickets. If you're just random guy out of the public, you couldn't pick up your ticket unless you showed ID that it was you.
That's actually
Your
not
name
bad.
is-
Like E3. E3 does that. You have to go and pick up your pass.
Your name is on the ticket. You can't, you can't pick up that ticket if you don't have ID showing that.
So
you're
in
that
other
same-
words, in order to rectify this, they need to make the tickets non-transferable.
Yeah, I mean, which
Right.
does limit the show a bit because now you can't go, okay, well, I'll pick up an extra ticket for my buddy who might come. There are genuine reasons for buying extra tickets, but then it may just have to happen to stop this.
I mean, but even something like that, you could put their name on the ticket, so they can show their ID.
True, but it would
But-
still cut down on scalpers buying 100 and then just standing out on the street and selling them.
Well, I don't think that's what they said. All right, you can only buy 4 tickets, for 4 ticket packages. So per login or whatever. But if you've got 20 people sitting on the phone, you now have 80 ticket packages to sell.
Yeah.
Because I believe the regular passes, they post them to you, right?
Yeah.
Because our media badges, we had to go and collect, right? So you just start doing that, where you just have a thing where you go and your game was the same. You had to go and, regardless of what kind of how you were getting in, the press, media, VIP, whatever, you had to go and show your ID and pick up your pass. Even if you were a regular member of the public, you had to go show your ID. Otherwise, they wouldn't give you your pass. You wouldn't be getting in.
That's difficult to
Yeah,
do
but
with
then
such a big.
then what happens is you end up with a cluster of people trying to get their tickets, their badges picked up, and especially if you say, all right, the show floor opens at 10. How long? You saw the queue lines. How long is it going to take for that many people to pick up their badges to get in?
Hours. I've seen it. I've seen it happen at E3.
So I don't know that.
And it
that's
works, but it
a
does work
feasible
because
solution.
people. What happened at E3 is people learned. Either fewer people started going, but I remember going the day before and picking up my pass, not waiting on any line, just walking up, thank you, walking away. Everybody that was waiting in line did it the day of the show, like an hour before the doors opened.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that, is if they want to stop it so you can't resell that or scalp that badge, you have to pick it up only on the day of. Because if you sell it, if you've got it the day before, there's a chance you're going to be scalping it. So, I don't know. I don't know that there is a good solution because humans...
You're suggesting that
suck.
this one person's going to walk in and say, give me my 30 badges. And that's going to be, hey, you can't do that. You get your badge. That's it. And that's the other way. You get your badge.
I think the best solution is meet in the middle and you just put names on badges. You're not going to stop it all, but at least you're gonna slow it. You're gonna kind of cut it a little bit so that you don't have people buying 4 tickets just to specifically. It's not so much a problem if you're going to the show yourself and you're buying extra tickets, but it's the people that are just buying tickets and selling them. They have no intention of going. They don't even like video games, but they know these tickets sell, so they're buying them. That's the problem. Because now it's not about fans, it's about making money.
And the PAX panel need to address this. They don't just need to say, oh, you know what, maybe there is a problem. No, they need to address this.
So what you do is you put names on tickets, and you still send them out in the post to avoid the whole queue thing, but you put names on badges, and you have to show ID before you get in.
So that means you saw the queue lines. Now they're going to ID people as you go through on that queue line.
Well, what else can you do?
The last person is going to be getting in through the gate as the show floor is closing.
And well, that's not the case. I mean, because Eurogamer E3 they do it, and it's not like it happened. It's not like there are people still waiting outside by the time it ends. E3 is not a good example because it kind of doesn't work like that anymore. But
I tell myself we get there early.
yeah,
I'm
and
all
Eurogamer-
for getting drink tickets. You know what? That is what we need next at PAX. walk-up bar, VIP walk-up bar.
And there's your ID check.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good idea.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to add about this Titanfall topic,
Yes.
since we're on it and sidetracked a bit, and they are stating a multi-platform same-day release, which I thought this was coming out Xbox One exclusive, timed exclusive, and
I
now
saw it,
they're
yeah.
saying it's going to be a multi-platform same-day release. So there's a little bit of contradictory news out there now
Well, remember,
regarding that.
Microsoft doesn't want PC gaming to exist, so they're going to say it's exclusive, despite it not being exclusive. And that's just how it is. They'd rather pretend it doesn't exist, so that people won't even even get a suspicion about, well, why? I already own a PC. Why should I not get your PC? So that's why. That's probably why.
All right. We've hit our hour. I don't
Yes.
know if we should. I don't think we should continue. I think I'm going to actually I'm going to make one of these topics an after show kind of topic, so to speak.
After show?
You know how we usually have
After
videos?
show?
Well, instead of making this a video, I'm going to make it a topic, so to speak.
Okay.
But after show
Jesus Christ, I
topic.
thought we were having another part of the show then. Yeah, welcome to the after show.
Only if you subscribe.
Hopefully it's not as bad as the pre-show.
Oh. There are some. It's funny because there are some not recorded pre-shows that are just horrific.
Horrendous.
Yeah, that should never be seen or spoken of again.
Okay. On that, I'm going to wrap things up. You guys have anything else you want to say?
Path of Exile is out. Play it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's 2 years too late.
I know.
Seriously, that game was playable 2 years ago, and they've revamped it so many times.
That was 2 years ago. Jesus.
It was good, and it was good 2
It's
years
exactly
ago.
the same now.
It's exactly the same now as it was 2 years ago, but it took them 2 years to release this. So,
So if you haven't played within the last 2 years, it's probably worth checking out.
Yeah.
ha!
Well, yeah. If you haven't played it at all, I would say definitely go take a look.
Yeah,
Because it's
especially when
free
it's free to play.
Yeah. With a good business model. So that's all.
Free is a great business model, right, Marcus?
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Anybody else? All right.
No.
So on that, I am going to thank our host for taking the time out to chat today. The Breezy, thank you very much for joining us, and you did
No
awesome with
problem.
that plug and play.
That what?
You did awesome with the power.
Oh,
internet
right. I'm glad that's
thing.
working. So
yeah.
far.
Yeah. Welshy, thank you very much for joining us,
No problem. I actually have decent internet now, so
Yeah.
that's always good.
and welcome to your new place. Wow.
Yeah.
All these special
Live in a
things
different
going
place.
on. Ham, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Strider, thank you very much for joining us today.
It's always an adventure.
I'm supposed to have a closer video here, as I say. Finally, I want to thank you, the fans of MODSonair.com and the subscribing members of MODSOnline.com for making this show possible. Stick around for the after show. See ya. Bye.
After show.
Thanks for watching this week, and come back next week when we will broadcast another live show. Details for this and all past episodes can be found at MODSonair.com. We welcome your feedback via email at mailbag@modsonair.com. And please consider subscribing to modsonline.com to support our show. The opinions expressed by individuals on this program are not necessarily the opinions of our sponsors, owners, or partners. Just don't care anymore. No,
Yeah.
that's not part of the after show. It goes on. Now, I was just going to bring this up as one of the interesting topics that goes on, but then I found this video.
Oh, this cannot be good.
Oh,
This
God.
10-minute video for a product called Senti.
Called what?
Senti. Senti. It
Senti.
just, it's a story, a Japanese story. It's a story of a couple
Oh, of course.
who
It.
fall in
Oh,
love.
God.
It's a story of
What
life
did
I
you
don't
do
growing
in
up.
I like that
Japanese
lighter.
stuff about-
And it's
Any point pencil monster shows up, I'm done.
how she grows into womanhood. Here we go.
Yeah,
And
see, I
finds-
knew it.
And finds a man,
See?
falls into love. I'm skipping ahead like really a lot. And then falls out of love and finds a new man, and there's hope.
What a whore. No.
And she sees him off at the door at the end of the night, and she sits down, and that was a nice night. And you know what? She's over here, and then I smell something.
Huh.
Oh,
Somebody doesn't smell fresh.
that's the scent of a new message on my phone. So you can
What?
come up with your own scents that work with
Oh,
your phone.
God.
So if you get a message on your phone, it'll smell like something. It'll
Or
smell like whatever you want it to
use
smell
your
like.
ears like everybody else does.
No ears, no sounds, no nothing. Just a
Just a
smell something.
smell.
Oh,
And
right.
maybe
That's a
these own
message. I have a
messages.
phone call.
When the wife's texting, you put like burning smell.
Smoke detector going on.
So yeah, send tea, which are like they're like saying you can make your phone call smell like bacon or something like that.
So there's an app for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is.
Wow. I mean,
And it
Wow.
fits in your pocket.
Sure. Just insane.
ridiculous.
So, but you could see this thing actually coming up with to games next, right? Like,
Yeah. Something smells like blood. Oh, it's my nose bleeding.
yes.
Cops are chasing us. How can you tell?
You smell donuts.
Smell
Yeah.
bacon.
Bacon.
Coffee and donuts.
All right. So it's just, I don't know.
Didn't we have games to give away?
Yeah, no one's answered the questions and no one wants.
Well, I've got a copy of Takedown as well.
As do I.
They've been doing a lot of updates, guys. It's
They took
It's
away the
gonna
best
go off
part.
nicely.
I'll never play the game again.
Wait, is it the voice thing? Did they take the voice thing away?
Yeah,
yeah.
they've
Yeah.
taken the voice away.
That was the best bit.
yeah.
That was.
It was distracting as hell, but it was fun. You'd be like the last guy
There's
alive.
something
and
definitely wrong with your game if you're trying to die so you can play with the voice.
yeah. And you'd be the last guy left, and you'd be like, right, okay, focus, here, gotta do this, and then all you'd hear is like,
Shawaddy waddy.
yeah, yeah.
Shawadi wadi. I don't think Foyle was playing with us when
I
we-
wasn't.
No.
Yeah, that was.
No, unfortunately. All right. That's
I gotta
our
go-
after
I
show.
gotta eat stuff. I gotta do things because we're not quite done moving yet.
Now for the after show closer. It's called a commercial. All right, here they
Yay,
come.
Commercials.
Adios, guys. Bye.
Later.